This is KGW News at Sunrise.
We start with breaking news. The Associated Press reporting an explosion at a subway in Russia has killed at least 10 people. It says this happened on a subway car at a station in St. Petersburg, which is Russia's second largest city. We're also learning that President Vladimir Putin was in the city earlier in the day for a speech, but we don't know if he was still there when the blast happened. We are working to get you more information and we'll update you throughout the show here on Sunrise. It is Monday, April 3rd. Thank you for joining us. I'm Brenda Braxton.
And I'm Ashley Korsland. It is 6 o'clock. We want to get a check on that forecast now with Rod Hill.
Good morning, everybody. Promising that today will be the brightest day of the entire week, unless something looks better later on than it does at this point. But this should be a good Monday. The only thing I really want you to be aware of is how chilly it is this morning. So here's the temperature map. Battleground now down to 32 degrees. Scappoose the same. And again, in outlying areas, we typically do see freezing temperatures all the way until about the first part of May. And now Kaiser and Salem also down to 32. Wow. All right, 40 in the city. When you drop off the kids around 8 o'clock or so this morning, we have a mix of partly cloudy skies and low cloud areas. Any low clouds will be gone by lunchtime, warming up to 50 and then up to about 56 at 3 o'clock, which will actually feel pretty good if you think about how chilly it is right now. And here's Chris.
Rod, so far the drive in pretty good shape. Drive time's all in green. Traffic at the Sylvan Hill rolling right along, getting a little busy out of Clark County on I-5 southbound at the Interstate Bridge. We expect that this time of the morning, right? This is a shot I'm going to talk more about coming up in just a few minutes, but a reminder that the lane closures on the Morrison Bridge start at about 7 o'clock. 6 lanes down to 2, one each direction. Major traffic implications for folks that live on the east side, and I will have much more on that coming up in just a few minutes. Ladies?
Chris, thank you. Yeah, that's going to be a mess for sure. It is 6:02 now. The man arrested in connection with last week's violent protest in Portland will be in court later today. Police say 45-year-old Philip Schaefer was involved in a fight outside of the Portland building. KGW's cameras caught that, and now the video is at the center of an investigation.
Start touching you.
Yeah, that's the protest there. Now, police arrested Schaefer yesterday at a Northeast Portland Starbucks. He's charged with second-degree robbery and coercion. You'll remember that protest broke out after the funeral of 17-year-old Quantis Hayes last week. Police arrested 6 other people as well. The group that organized the demonstration, Don't Shoot PDX, says Schaefer was trying to defend a fellow protester. They claim police are unfairly targeting demonstrators.
Police also need your help this morning to find a carjacker. This crime happened on Mount Scott Park on Southeast 72nd, but it's how it all went down that's actually a little crazy. Yesterday morning, a woman says she was driving when a man stopped her. He claimed that she hit him, and then he demanded that she drive him to the hospital. But listen to this. He said he had a weapon, forced her out of her car. The guy drove away, but he didn't make it very far. The 2017 Toyota Corolla he stole broke down, so he took off running. Police searched the area, couldn't find him though. Investigators say the carjacker has a tattoo of a hashtag near his left eye. If you have any information, you're asked to call Portland Police.
Well, today, crews in Atlanta will begin cleaning up a big old mess there. Who could forget this video from last Thursday? A huge fire and then a bridge collapse. Crews will start removing the badly damaged section of the bridge today, but it could take months to repair everything. Police arrested and charged 3 people for that collapse. They think a man who was smoking crack under the bridge sparked the fire.
Well, the showdown over President Trump's Supreme Court nominee heats up at the Capitol today. A Senate committee will refer Judge Neil Gorsuch to the full Senate later today. Republicans promise confirmation by the end of the week, but the Gorsuch nomination is getting a lot of pushback from Democrats. Last week, the Senate's top Democrat, Charles Schumer, vowed the party will filibuster that nomination.
When a nominee doesn't get 60 votes, you shouldn't change the rules. You should change the nominee.
In December of 1870. Thank you.
3 days of formal debate will follow today's referral. President Trump nominated Gorsuch to replace the late Justice Antonin Scalia.
Oh, that just gives you chills, huh? Gonzaga fans went nuts the minute the men's basketball team solidified its spot in the national championship. The Zags beat South Carolina Saturday night. This was a close one, 77-73. This is the first time the Zags have made it to the title game in school history. Oh, well, I think we have another script here. It's in there twice. Sorry about that. So now I think we're going to talk about Ducks feeling a little bummed out. That was such a close, tough loss. Did you watch?
Yeah, I did. I had to get up and walk around the house because they were up 5, down 5. But they just a little too late. They fought hard. They just could not beat North Carolina. They still really, though, have a lot to be proud of. They did.
And some of the students we've heard from, they're very positive, and they're like, looking back, it was such an awesome season. Of course, students heading back to campus after spring break today. Drew Carney is down in Eugene, talking to some of them. Hey, Drew.
We haven't really run into any students as of yet. It is, of course, just a little after 6 o'clock in the morning on a Monday. I do believe a car full of students just drove by Cameron, Steve, and I, and they yelled something out to us. Didn't have anything to do with the Ducks basketball game on Saturday night. It was something different and colorful. Good morning to you as well. We are at the University of Oregon this morning, live in Eugene, a day and a half removed from the end of the Ducks basketball season, a season that came to a crushing end, a sudden stop Saturday night when they lost by 1 point to the University of North Carolina. Last half hour, we shared with you some sound from fans that were here in Eugene on Saturday night watching the game and pulling for their Ducks. Of course, there was a lot of fans in Phoenix as well who were coping with that loss just a few minutes after the game. Take a listen.
It just wasn't meant to be, I guess. I mean, we played like that all year, but we've pulled it out. But this was a little bit tougher.
What a finish. Got close. They had a great season. I enjoyed watching them all season long, so we'll be back.
Devastating, and so proud of this team, but to get this far with all the injuries and everything and come up short in the way they came up short, it's tough. It's tough to stomach.
They really made a game of it. It was fun. We drove 20 hours overnight through the night to get down here for the game today, so well, I'd like to see them go a little bit further, but they did everything they could, so.
A great season again by the Ducks, a fantastic run all the way to the Final Four. Again, losing Saturday night by 1 point. And that's what makes it tough to swallow for a lot of fans, that 1 point loss to North Carolina on Saturday night. We're on campus here this morning. I feel as though, Ashley, Brenda, Rod Hill, I feel as though that this is going to be our half hour coming up. I feel as though the campus will begin to come to life on this Monday morning. And we will find people that'll be willing to talk to us about the end of the Ducks season. And can I also just clear up one other thing? I mentioned last half hour about my second semester at college when I earned, and I do mean earned, a 0.8 grade point average for the semester. That was preceded by a semester where I got a 3.3. And I believe right after that semester, I had something like a 3.2 or 3.1. So that was just an odd semester for me.
And you're saying that
that's
because of your scheduling? Like, what do you attribute you falling off
scheduling. It was all the result of a failure to prioritize. So in my late teens.
Kyle
and yes,
Luboshi's
I put
team,
school on the back burner that semester, and it burned me.
Kyle
Yes?
Luboshi tells us you took chemistry that one semester in question, and then the following semester you took water basket weaving or something like that, and that got your GPA up. Yes.
Yes. That's funny.
The facts are not correct there. The facts are not correct there.
All right, Drew, we will stop giving you a hard time. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, but it is pretty fun.
Funny.
It's nice to have him down in Eugene. I mean,
that's a tough.
It's going to be a day
have,
of shaking heads on campus today.
I would too.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah. It still hurts, I'm sure.
Sure it does.
All right, we have the system offshore that we think leaves us alone today, but tonight we'll start to get these clouds in. But the kicker is, it's possible that even though the clouds start coming tomorrow, we don't get much and maybe no rain until Wednesday overnight going into Thursday. So if that's true, we would have a stretch of, nice, pleasant, dry weather, not only today, but tomorrow, and maybe even on Wednesday. It's a mix of low cloud spots and clear skies this morning, no weather systems. In fact, radar's pretty much bone dry at this point. so no travel issues for you. Temperatures are chilly. That's my big story this morning. Again, if you are joining us, we have some freezing spots, including up in Clark County at Battleground, including Kaiser, including Salem. It's 35 down in Albany right now. It's near freezing down in Eugene, where Drew's giving us that live information this morning as well. 50 at noon. So again, we quickly lose any low cloud areas, and then we warm up to about 59 degrees at 5 p.m. It's another day where the wind mainly from the north might have a little bit of a bite or a chill to it. Here are the other temperatures on a Monday morning. Back to school day for Oregon, of course, first official day of spring break for Clark County. 21 over in Bend. Driving over the Cascade Passes, it was a dry weekend, so you would expect those roadways to be in good shape this morning. Here are the forecast highs, just up into the 50s at the beach, but upper 50s up and down I-5. In fact, the Dalles out in the East Gorge could hit 60 today, and then temperatures trying to get up to 50, but maybe not making it in spots out across the east side with everybody developing increasing sunshine. And that's the story at the coast, increasing sunshine this morning. Temperatures low to mid 50s, 55 in Tillamook. Up on the mountaintop, Meadows was a bit breezy, but the worst signs already this morning. The winds are going to be calming. So I think it's a pretty good day up there. Plenty of sunshine. Timberline around freezing, but a pass level Government Camp 41 and Meadows 35. Here come the 7-day forecast numbers. So tomorrow, is it thick cloud cover or is it kind of partly sunny? And then we'll ask that same question on Wednesday. Forecast models go nuts warm on Wednesday. Some of them shoot us up into the 70s. But if the clouds are thick, I think it'll be tough to do that. We'll go 64 for now. And then the showers certainly hold us in the 50s on Thursday and a rainy day on Friday, giving way to some scattered showers.
64 and 7, that's a 64 and 70, that's a big difference.
What's the difference between, that's the difference between a really thick low cloud deck and not.
And a happy anchor and not.
Exactly.
And there is that, yes.
Thank you, Ron.
Getting that AC installed just in time,
Yeah,
like literally
there you go.
just in time.
Nice.
All right.
Okay, big problems on the Morrison.
Yeah, so this is going to be a big headache for like the next 6 months. So I want to give folks the heads up about this. We've got Tim Gordon there on the scene. We'll get more details from him in just a few minutes. But I wanted to show you this. Again, the Morrison Bridge, that big project starts this morning at 7 a.m. We'll take 6 lanes and squeeze it down to 2, 1 each direction. And I think the biggest impact for folks that live on the east side is that there basically is no westbound access from the east side, other than, of course, I-5 and I-84. That's the only way you're going to be able to get into downtown over the Morrison Bridge. So if that's part of your morning commute, usually you're going to want to use the Hawthorne, the Burnside, the Broadway, which they will also be undergoing some work as well over the course of the next 6 months. This is a live look from Tim Gordon's live shot there, and there you can see the sign, westbound, closed. And I'm sure some of the eastbound lanes will have a sign of that as well. In fact, I think I can see what's behind door number 2. We've got a little sign that flashes there. No, we don't. We've got a stagnant drive right now. That camera is locked up. I-5 at the Interstate Bridge. A little bit of local congestion there, but so far the freeways are in pretty good shape. Ladies?
Chris, thank you. Okay, how much time do you spend in front of a screen during the day? It's a lot.
Yeah, it can be. If it's too much, though, you can end up with some aches and pains. This morning, health experts explain the toll electronics can take on our health.
Gaming hands, texting thumbs, and lots of looking down. Our devices can cause some painful conditions.
Cervical strains, tension headaches, impingement syndrome of your shoulders, back pain.
Physical therapist Molly Capella is seeing more and more patients with injuries related to electronics.
Every day.
Text neck is super common. That strain caused by looking down at your devices.
And we're seeing it more often, all different ages.
But changing bad habits, like lifting your phone to eye level, can help prevent problems. And if you always use the same hand or finger to type, mix it up.
Try to train yourself to switch it back and forth. I always advocate for people to support it with 2 hands.
And sitting for a long time coupled with bad posture is the perfect storm for pain.
We were not built to sit for more than an hour at a time.
But when you do, keep your feet flat on the floor and remember to stand up frequently. If you're already in pain, putting off treatment may be a bad idea. Hand injuries can lead to problems up the neck and vice versa.
Our bodies are like this pulley system. So as soon as you compromise one section of the pulley, everything else is going to get thrown off. This shouldn't hurt your shoulders.
Physical therapists can suggest a program of exercises and stretches to help reverse the impact of using electronics too much.
Roll your hips forward.
When we do that, we can protect our bones from the stress of our phones.
So you take
Seeing all that just makes me want to stretch. Yeah. Experts say be really careful with products and accessories that promise any kind of quick fix. You're better off just trying to develop some better viewing habits.
Okay.